G'day traders, welcome to wrap up of Friday, 28th of October. So I started the day with definitely an upside bias. I mean, the buyers are around where, if you look on the dailies, there's an uptrend, and it's very hard to go against the buyers, and I guess you've always got to be thinking in the back of your mind that the buyers are around. However, Thursday, the previous day, it did push up really strongly. It broke through a resistant area and had a very strong day on the buyer side of things. So when you see really strong buyers like that, where pretty much all day yesterday the market didn't pull back, it just continued to push up, you've got to expect today we're definitely going to have two-sided action. Now, whether the buyers come or not, you definitely got to expect that it's not going to be the same as yesterday, and that we're going to see a lot of two-sided action. So that's exactly what the market did here to start off with, and that just consolidated that, I suppose, that, or confirmed that, I should say, that you can see it's bouncing here between power points. So this is very sideways action, just consolidating what that big move that happened yesterday. Okay, then the market's just started to pop up here. So one way or another, it's going to eventually pop, either up or down. We had a 5-minute buy here. Tough entry, very tough entry. It's also coming after quite a bit of traffic there as well. So, but in the end, there was a bit of a pullback before it decided to head up. So that particular 5-minute trade wouldn't have worked out. But you can see then it has popped up. So definitely an indication that the buyers around. Pull back here. So down here there would have been a failed power point. So that it's never reached that power point, and the buyers have taken control back again. And we're heading up here to this blue line, or this yesterday's close area. Okay, so gap. So this is very much an attraction for the market head to. So at this stage here, you've got to be thinking, any opportunity to buy, particularly this one here might have been an opportunity to fade up to the gap. But in the end, it hasn't got there. It's turned around basically just as it pushed through that power point, gone sideways, and then started to pull back. So a bit of an indication of what I said at the beginning, that after such a strong buyers day yesterday, the chances are that the buyers certainly weren't going to have its way like it did yesterday, and that's exactly what happened. So normally this could quite often push up and get there. In the end, it didn't. Started to pull back, and then it's broken down through this area here. Okay, so if you go back here, you can see the buyers pushed up, they pull back, and then headed up. So this particular area here, this is a strong buyer support area. So the fact that the market's broken down through this support, okay, it's also rejected the gap, is an indication that from here on in, maybe we're looking for sellers, or definitely we're looking for sellers. Okay, you want to be going with the trends, and that's a strong indicator that the buyers are not around, and that maybe the sellers are going to have a shot. So it's pushed down here, it's pulled back a bit, and then started to come back. You can see the sellers are pushed in heavy here. Okay, and then right about here we had a 5-minute sell where that little arrow is, so that's definitely a good chance. The market lows, or the cash lows, are within striking range. So if the market really wanted to, it could jump down, hit that, but you can see in the end it hasn't. And the market's not showing a lot of form today, or keeping true to its trends. And like we said at the beginning, it's picked a trend going one direction, and then all of a sudden turn around heading the other way. So overall, I'd say that today was definitely a tough market to trade, but you're going to have days like that. That's trading. In the end, all you can do is keep taking your high percentage areas, high probability areas. In the end, you're going to be fine. But just knowing there's days like this that are going to come along. Hopefully you learn a lot from this day. I know I certainly did. It was a tough day to be trading, but that's all part of the industry. So you can see here now, after looking like the sellers were around, all of a sudden the buyers have come back. So it's definitely getting this two-sided action, which we talked about at the beginning of the day. So we started to push it back up. Once again, this gap is coming within reach. The chances are the market's going to go up and have a go at it. Again, it's turned around at this particular power point here and started to head back. So this green wasn't a bad shot. This is probably one of the better areas of the day. There was actually a 5-minute buy, came up not long after that as well. So the moving average was starting to turn around to the upside. So this is a 5-minute buy here, supporting it. In the end, would have got just got your 2 points out of it. So you go for any more than 2, you wouldn't have got there. But as soon as it got to that 2 points, it's turned around again and started to head down. And then just to finish off, you can see a bit of sideways action here. So no trend of the day really getting a hold and taking over, just some very much two-sided sideways action. And right at the end here, we've also got a 5-minute buy in this area here. So that gap, never got to that gap. But overall, a fairly what we call a tough day. Okay, so we've got the 5-minute chart up here now. So overall, there was 4 signals for the day. So here's this first one here that we got just after that marker was in that range for the morning. Hadn't really picked a trend for the day, and you can see here it's in some very clustered area. The buy entry was not a good area. It was right at the top of a PowerPoint, so one you'd probably want to avoid. In the end, it's pulled back before pushing up anyway. Move to this one here. This is probably one of the better opportunities of the day. You can see the market's coming down quite strongly here. Now all of a sudden the market moving average is starting to turn around. So the chances are the market's just going to push down, just have a bit of a pullback, and then go for its lows again. Okay, so this setup here is usually quite a high percentage area. But as I said, all you got to do is you take those areas, and then not all of them work. This particular one, it's pretty much turned around on the spot and started heading back up. So the market not really holding its true form or there. And then we've pushed up here, got another buy here. So even though technically this is a 5-minute sell, because the moving average is pointing up, this is the one you take as a fade and take as a buy. And in the end, this one too, it's popped up. Looks like it might have been going to work. Got to about 7 ticks up, so it didn't quite get to 2 points, and then it's pulled right back again. So not quite working that one. And then it doesn't show up here, but there's actually another buy here as well. Okay, so at this stage, all we're having is sideways action. The market's not really holding its true form. It's finding it hard to find a trend. So the chances of this work in the afternoon, I'd be kind of leaving this alone and going, okay, let's leave it for the day and look for another day. So there we go. That's 4 signals all up, and yes, overall tough day, but certainly a day hopefully you can learn a lot from. That's a wrap up.